All right, one of my buddies is on now. Well, the other guys are my buddies too, but Corey,
This one's actually your buddy.
like
this
me,
is
though.
my mountain biking partner right here. He's seen me eat it.
Covered in blood.
He also almost killed me. By the way, I got my shoulder. All right, so let me back up. So Corey does a great job in terms of his charitable endeavors, and he put together a celebrity kickball game in Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Oh, it's your fault.
October, right?
It's
Wasn't it
definitely
last
my
fault.
October?
Okay.
Yeah, definitely my fault.
So Corey gets me to come play in his game. I'm playing third base, all right? I'm cheated way up towards home plate because we're not going to get beat short. They're going to have to beat us long.
Over the top.
Over the top. So old Ryan Blaney, old YRB, he steps in, and he boots this thing down
Rifles
the third
one down the
baseline.
third baseline.
Rifles it.
Marty's on the hot corner.
Hot corner. And I had told myself walking in the door, don't try to leg out any singles. Don't get hurt.
He looked like A-Rod, not from the Yankees days.
Not
from
his
the,
prime.
From the
from
Mariners.
Mariners days. Like a young A-Rod out there.
Woo.
So
He did not get up very quick.
I catch this thing, and I just know it's not good. I've hurt myself bad. And all my friends run over trying to pick me up. Like, great play, bro. That was awesome.
He said,
And they're
I said, you
get
better
back.
get off of me. And LaJoie,
You were like Matthew Stafford.
Corey leans down and he goes, bro, are you okay? Dude, you are white as a ghost.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm okay. I got to go walk this one off.
yeah.
See, it's your fault. By the way, I still feel it. I lift chest every third day. It goes crack, pop, snap, and it hurts.
I'm just glad you think about it every 3 days.
So
I cuss you every 3 days.
I love that.
you guys can get hurt as a part of your career. For guys like Marty and I, if we get hurt, there's a conversation at home. What the hell were you thinking?
That wasn't even the worst time when he got hurt when I was with him. We were
Dude.
mountain biking.
Tell them that story.
Well, we were riding Lake Norman State Park, and my man goes ass over tea kettle. He's got his shoulder banged up. I don't think it hit the moneymaker, though.
It
I
did
don't
not,
think
thank God,
I
but
don't
it-
think it got the hit. Were you in a sling?
I was in a sling after kickball.
Kickball. Okay. I can't remember. They all run together
They
at this
do.
point in time. But, yeah, my man goes down. I get after on a mountain bike, too. We both.
go.
There's
Yeah.
no, like, I'm going to have a leisurely ride here. No. When you see that first hill, you get after it. Like, that little self-preservation switch when your hand wants to drag the rear brake, that just turned that one right off. He doesn't even have a switch to begin with.
Go with it, baby.
So, yeah, he starts riding a little faster. I start riding a little faster. Next thing you know, you're hauling ass. And luckily for me, he was the one that went down first because it was inevitable one of us was going down.
What I'm learning here is that anytime Marty hangs out with you, he gets hurt. So I'm going to keep my distance.
That's
It's
not an
not-
inaccurate statement.
It's not an inaccurate statement. When you put two competitive guys in the same room that have mutual respect for each other but want to push each other, that's what you get sometimes.
I'll tell you, during COVID, when we couldn't gather, when we couldn't be together, Corey and I would go out in the woods on those bikes, and man, it like filled me up spiritually too. It wasn't just, man, this is a great workout. It's great to hang out together, but Corey has a depth about him as a person, as an individual, as a human that really impacts and inspires me. And those days matter to me. We got to get back after it.
We do. I didn't expect to get sentimental here because we're in sunny Daytona,
Oh, are you
Florida.
kidding me?
But, I mean, hey, I'll go as deep as y'all want to get. But it was cool. Anytime, Marty asked me to jump, I asked how high because, man, just him putting in the work in the NASCAR side and then parlaying that into what he's been doing with his career, man, it's cool to be able to watch. And he's he wasn't originally a hometown kid, but now he's only, a couple miles away from the house. So
It's
everybody-
adopted him.
It's adopted him, no doubt.
So how does mountain biking, being in one of these bad boys, what's the similarities? What are the differences?
Dude, I'll tell you, mountain biking is the closest simulation you can get to this. Now, you might think that's the dumbest thing ever, but I'll explain why.
I'll take your word for it. I mean, I've never
Because
done it.
It's hand-eye coordination. There's not a whole lot of balance in this stuff, but there's the keeping your eyes up to make sure you're hitting your marks because you got to hit your marks through the woods. There's also, like I was talking about, that self-preservation switch of when your brain's like, you're going too fast, you're going to bust your ass. Well, I think I can go a little bit faster. And that's like the same thing at Richmond. Like, I think I can get into turn 3 a little bit deeper. and you get your body and your brain acclimated to pushing a little harder. And what you think is your 100% threshold keeps getting a little bit further. So that's why I love mountain biking so much. My owner doesn't like mountain biking so much because they're only one tree away. Now, the big thing now used to be when Jimmy was here and Matt Kenseth was here, those guys would get 20 of them guys and they'd road bike. Every other person you pass is looking down at their phone, looking off, messing with the radio. All it takes is one rear view mirror, man, clipped, and you're in the woods. So I would rather hit a tree that's stationary than get clipped by a moving car.
That's actually one main reason why I have started mountain biking so much more. I was one of those guys that was in that peloton, for lack of a better word, with Jimmy and Kenseth and Almirola and Sean Curlin and all that whole bunch. Dude, I was out in Kannapolis by myself on my road bike one day, and I got not lost, but disoriented a little bit. I was way out by DEI. You know where I live, way the hell out there.
Yeah.
So I got lost enough where I was like, I'll just go to 73 and ride back to Huntersville on 73.
That's a bad road.
Stupid. And I got blown off. This is about, for y'all listen, this is a 55 mile an hour, one lane each way highway that leads from Huntersville, North Carolina to I-85 out towards Concord. Well, I got blown off of that road by a dump truck. Like literally, poof, blown. Down into a ditch, storm drain right in front of me. I had to try to bunny hop my bike over the storm drain.
What'd you hit?
Totaled myself. The storm drain with my front tire. Clipped in. Dude, ass over tea kettle.
Yard sailed it.
I just laid there.
I'm loving these expressions, man.
Welcome to NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yard sailed it.
Yard sailed it.
But when you say yard sale, you know exactly what it means. When some guy in skis
Look out the
yard
front
sales it,
Just all
right?
the shit.
Yeah.
Shit
I don't need
everywhere.
any
Shit
context.
everywhere. So I'm laying there, doing the body check. Like, oh, I think my arm's not broken. My leg might be broke. Let me get up and check it out. That changed everything for me.
Yeah.
On the road.
Yeah, you're not getting blown off the trail by an oak tree.
Right.
I'd rather clip that thing
Right.
by my own doing and blame myself. But yeah,
So-
fitness is big, man, for me.
I want people to know this man has an unbelievable story of perseverance to get to a point where he's driving the number 7 car at the highest level of stock car racing in the United States of America. Absolute grinder. Absolute unwillingness to stop.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those dudes that gave every ounce of himself to making it. Like,
I got a great story to
Yes.
that point. All right. I remember within probably a 20-foot range of where it was. My first, and he ties the story up at the end. So my first ever, all right, I'll back up even more. It's November. The musical chairs of what rides are getting taken up or over, right? So the worst team on the grid is BK Racing at the time. They had a couple charters. They had an open car. And I was pestering Ron Devine, the owner. I had no credentials. I had run 8 Xfinity races up to this point in time. I was not qualified to be in this Cup car, but it was the only opportunity that I had. And every day, I'm the squeaky wheel. Ron, please give me a chance. Please give me a chance. Every other day I'm calling them. Have you made a decision yet? I'll come sweep the floors, clean the shitters, whatever you need me to do. Let me drive the car. No motion, right? Jimmy Johnson was fresh off his 7th championship. I had to phone in the big dog. I said, Jimmy, I need a favor. What do you need? I need you to call Ron Devine. He's the owner of BK Race, and I need you to put the good word on for me to see if he'll let me drive this car. Sure, no problem. Send him over the number. He was on the ski lift in Aspen. Brings him up. They talk for 45 minutes. Ron calls me right up. If you're good enough for the 7-time champ to vouch for you, then you're good enough for my car. One race deal, Daytona 500. Because, one, it pays $300 grand, $250 grand to start.
Yep.
So if you don't make that one, you're not going to Fontana next week, right? The car's not locked in. We were the slowest car in qualifying by like 3.5 seconds. Starting dead last in the feature, in the dual race, and there's 2 other guys we got to beat.
Somebody wrecked?
It looked like it.
Racers,
No,
that's what
he's
they
still
do.
good. He's still good. Sorry.
Racers
had his
see
sixth
that and their
sense.
head snaps.
He
around.
wasn't even looking.
Yeah, I felt it. But so there was one guy on our team, because this was like the car that if it makes a race great, if not, whatever. There's one guy pushing it through tech. That guy's off setting the tire pressure or something. So before the race, Ron Devine, the owner, says, "You've done a great job this weekend, big guy. But if you don't make the race here, I think this is it for the 20 or 83 car, and we'll close the doors." And puts the winning it up. Mind you, I haven't ran one Xfinity Speedway race, nothing. And I don't know, 21 years old, and I'm like, okay, I guess this is it. Like, let me cinch these belts down
baby.
quick. So I spend the first half the race just learning the draft, learning what positions you can put your car in, and I find myself nose to tail with the guy who I had to beat to get into the race. And he kept showing the middle, leaving the middle open to the tri-oval, which, come to find out now, for a reason, like nobody goes through the middle in the tri-oval. I didn't know any better. All I know is I got to beat this guy in front of me.
You didn't know.
I stick it in the middle, gets him arrow loose, ends up wrecking him. Felt bad about it.
Sorta.
Like months later. And I get out. It's like, okay, we're racing the Great American Race, right? Surely enough. So when you qualify in, you get to the media center, the whole deal. I forgot what question Marty asked, and it just like, snap. Like, it was like, to his point, all the years of me flying to Bakersfield, California, crew chief in a car just to pay the bills, driving these crap boxes just to stay in the garage to keep my network continue to build slowly, all like built to this moment of getting a chance to race the Daytona 500. And that one race led into 34 more throughout the course of the year, parlayed that to the next deal. I mean, it's literally like playing NASCAR 2000 career mode where you get in with the lowest team, you go to the next lowest team, and now I'm in a good spot here at Spire Motorsports where we can go be competitive.
It's so fun.
It sounds like a movie.
And
I don't know if it'll be – he could probably narrate it here when it comes around, but that's the thing. We are in the beginning of what I think is a Corey LaJoie movie. Like, there is still chapters to be written. I feel like, 30 years old, I still have 10 years of career at my prime left, and I feel like I'm in a great spot outside the racetrack with all the marketing stuff I've been able to do with the partners, Built Bar, Fluter Systems, and some others. The podcast with what NASCAR's allowing me to do with on their platform. So once I can get this competitive side matched up with what the traction I've got off the track, it's going to be really special.
so I wanted to mention a podcast. It's called Stacking Pennies. Corey does it down at NASCAR's headquarters down in downtown Charlotte. And I want to know, like, first of all, how has having that platform to share instant feedback, receive instant feedback, and learn media
It's hard.
impacted the way that you operate out here?
Man, it's in ways that I didn't anticipate, right? Because there's a lot of layers to it that I have to, like, learn how to say things that I view in the right way to be received like how I want them intended to be. Because being a current competitor, not being a consistent competitor for wins like the guys on this side of the garage, you can say things in a way that might sound spiteful, like if I had this or if I had that, what that guy had, but that doesn't do anything but make me look like I feel a certain way about it. I have to talk unbiased about the sport on what I feel is most of the time great about it, because there's lots of great things going on with NASCAR right now, but I've had to work at it. I've had to stick my foot in my mouth plenty of times and learn how not to say things, but I feel like with my buddy Ryan Flores is the pit road boats and woes analyst. He changes front tires for Penske. Chuck Bush, who works at NASCAR, as well as Jonathan Merriman. Like, those, we're a good group, and we can put our heads together. I don't have a whole lot of weight on my shoulders in terms of carrying the show. It allows me to kind of be me and give the fans a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of what a mid-level team is up against versus some of the bigger teams. But and also on the other hand, it's allowed me. I was on the I Am Athlete podcast, and they asked me about stacking pennies, and it's not a financial thing. Stacking pennies comes from when I started in the Cup Series. I was at the bottom of the barrel. I tried every way to try to get some sort of extrinsic motivation. You're never going to get it here. You're always going to get kicked in the teeth each and every week. So a sports psychologist started figuring out, okay, we have to figure out tangible victories throughout the course of the weekend, no matter what race car you're driving, and stack them up. That way you stay motivated to come back to the racetrack, pit road rolling speed, positive restart, position retention, like tangible things to keep you want to keep coming back. And that's where Stacking Pennies comes from, and the fans seem to sing by a name, so it's been a lot of fun.
I will come on as soon as possible. I can't wait to do it, and I have some homework for you.
All right.
Go ask Flores about the first day we met.
All right, I will.
It has to do with my competitiveness.
All right.
Appreciate
I
you,
feel like
brother.
I've heard this story, but yeah.
Flag football? Woo!
Yeah.
Me and him about
Hey, but we're going to dig into that when you come on
We
the
will.
show.
We
I
about threw
appreciate y'all
hands.
having me on here.
Corey,
You're the best,
rapid
brother.
fire, really quick. Going to squeeze this in. Talladega Nights.
Oh, yes.
Or Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. I know y'all are trying to push me off. We know we got to go. Go check out my Instagram. The paint scheme reveal for the Daytona 500.
Yes.
We did a recreation of Harry Hyde when he's building a car in the barn.
Love that.
Go check that story out. Anybody's watching or listening.
Oh.
What's your Instagram?
At Corey LaJoie.
There you go.
It's not that. It's pretty authentic. My name.
Figured I'd ask.
See you,
Thank
brother.
you, Corey.
Thank y'all.